Okay, so now in today's lecture, we're going to talk about the facts about investing in real estate. Earlier we talked about some of the myths, and I really got into busting those myths. Apologize if that video was kind of long, but I really wanted to just dispel those myths that were out there about real estate. And now let's talk about some of the facts. So this section or this lecture won't be as long, but it's important for us to go over some facts that you need to understand about real estate so you can actually be excited and motivated to get involved investing in real estate once you know some of these facts. Because these are some of the things that once I learned these facts, I was definitely very excited and very confident about investing in real estate. So let's start out with fact number one. And these aren't all of the facts in real estate, but these are just things that I thought were important to share with you guys. So let's start with fact number one. Um, According to thecollegeinvestor.com, about 90% of the world's millionaires have been created in part by investing in real estate. So 90% of the world's millionaires, think about that. 90% of the world's millionaires. Now, um, I understand how that can happen because a lot of times when people start getting money, um, they start trying to figure out what to do with it, how to invest it. Because, like, for example, if you have, let's say, $800,000 saved up in the bank, or even if you have 500,000 saved up in the bank, or even if you, let's say, you don't even have all your money saved in the bank. Let's say you just bought a property um, in California, for example. You bought a property for, real estate out there is pretty expensive. So it could be $300,000 you bought the property, and the way real estate can appreciate, especially in some markets, there were a lot of millionaires that were made by owning property in the right locations where they bought those properties at reasonable prices years ago, and years later, they became millionaires because of all of the equity that they had in their real estate. So that's one example. But another example is people have wealth, they have money in the bank, and they try to figure out the best place to put it. And they might not have experience investing in businesses or experience investing in the stock market or things like that. So the next best thing that a lot of people understand all over the world is to put your money in real estate. So either you put it in sooner or you put it in later because um, you know, real estate appreciates, and it's just one thing, unlike other investment vehicles, that's just so able. It's just you can do so many things with it. So, and a lot of people who have money realize that, and a lot of people who have serious money have benefited from the growth in value of real estate. So that's not hard to believe. So 90% of the world's millionaires have been created in part by investing in real estate. So number two, second fact, owning rental property can almost guarantee a positive return on investment when you consider appreciation and debt pay down. So let's talk about that. What is appreciation? So I'm just going to teach some things. This might be basic for some folks. Feel free to skip ahead. But for those of you that are just now getting into real estate, let's talk about these things. What is appreciation? So appreciation is essentially when the value of your property rises over time. Okay, it appreciates in value. So, and that appreciation sometimes can be dramatic. Like for example, the house that I always talk about, the cheapest house that I bought was I bought it for 25,000, and now years later it's worth over 100,000. So that is appreciation, and it just happens based on the market. You don't have to do anything but maintain that property, keep it nice, and it'll appreciate in value over time in most cases. And then what is debt pay down? Debt pay down is when we're talking about rental properties. So the appreciation is automatic, but the debt pay down is when you rent out that property, and let's say you have a mortgage on that property of could be any amount. It could be a mortgage of $50,000, right? Um, and every month when you get that lease payment or that rental payment, you take a portion of that payment and you pay down your debt. So that's the debt pay down, and pay by paying off that mortgage. So as you're doing that, you're every time you make a payment towards the principal or of that mortgage or that debt that you owe on the house, your equity is going up in that house as well as appreciation. So it makes it very hard for you to lose out when you're properly paying down your real estate and you pick the right real estate in the right location and area where it can appreciate. So it's almost impossible to lose money over time when you consider those factors. So that's fact number two. Fact number three, you have more control over your investment in real estate as opposed to stocks, cryptocurrency, and other investment options. So, what do I mean by that? We're talking about control. So, if I have stock in Nike and that stock plummets, what can I do to make that Nike stock go up? Do I have the power to make that Nike stock go up? Probably not. Unless I, own the majority of the stock and I can make decisions, then the likelihood of me being able to do something with that stock to make the value rise back up is very low. However, with real estate, if you own real estate and let's say um, you bought something and you didn't do anything to the property and the value has not yet increased, well, there's a variety of things that you can do to make that property nicer, and invest in a little bit into the like rehabilitation, and making that property nicer, that will increase its value, and then you can get a return on that investment. So you actually have control over that investment. So you can make it nicer. You can even I mean, there's all types of things you can do with real estate. In some cases, you can take the actual physical property and move it, the physical house and structure, and move it. You could actually take down a structure, like in plenty of scenarios. And this happens where I am, in the city where I am. They will knock down entire blocks of buildings and houses, and then the value of that land will increase when they build new structures on that property. So they have control over that real estate. You have control over the value of that real estate when you make changes to it. Whereas in cryptocurrency, what can you do? If cryptocurrency drops, what can you do? I've seen some people on Instagram have campaigns to tell you to buy certain cryptocurrency because they want the value of that cryptocurrency to go up because they own it. So they're trying to control it, but you know, how much do you really think that can happen? So I'm not an expert in cryptocurrency, but I do have experience with real estate, and you have control over your real estate, and you can do things to make that value go up. Um, so that's fact number three. Fact number four is real estate offers many different tax benefits. So I'm not a tax accountant, but I have benefited from owning rental properties, through all of the different ways that you can deduct your expenses from your rental properties. You can actually take depreciation from your rental properties, which doesn't really make sense. It's like a loophole, pretty much. Think about it. When a property is appreciating, you can still depreciate it. Like I guess the wear and tear, um, and lots of different things that like tax benefits that you can get. But my recommendation is that when you start getting a number of rental properties, you consult with a tax expert so you can get the maximum tax write-offs and benefits that you can. And that, to be honest, would be a whole nother course to talk about all of those tax benefits. But the fact is, real estate offers many different tax benefits when owning real estate. So that's number four. Fact number five is real estate is more predictable than stocks and cryptocurrencies. As you saw on the graph that I showed, real estate is a little bit more predictable because also you can look at an area and assess the value based on what you see. Whereas cryptocurrency, you might not be able to predict what people are going to do the next day or what's coming around the corner. Same thing with stocks. There might be an announcement that's made, and all of a sudden the stock market goes down. But with real estate, in certain markets, you pick the right markets, Real estate is rock solid and constantly appreciating, although we do have some dips and valleys, but over time keeps going up. So it's a little bit more predictable. Also, fact number 6, it's not as complicated as people think. I'm not a rocket scientist. I have no background or no degree in real estate investing. However, like I said earlier, I've been able to generate, well, I have a portfolio of millions of dollars worth of real estate just by getting involved and starting to invest. So it's definitely not that complicated. And I will show you um, later on in this course, how to evaluate real estate and make good decisions. And trust me, we're not going to be doing calculus or algebra. You might do some algebra from time to time in business, but we're not doing rocket science, math, or anything like that. Okay, so it's not as complicated as people think. You just gotta do your due diligence. All right. So number 7, investing in real estate. Real estate can make you rich. Okay, so if you want to be wealthy or rich, investing in real estate can do it, and that's just a fact. So the whole point of this lecture, like I said, it's going to be a little bit shorter, is that I want to impress upon you that real estate is something that you can do because it's not too complicated. It is predictable. You can figure it out, and you can make money with it, and you can make serious money with it, either in the short term by doing flips and wholesaling, things of that nature, and also long-term money by buying and holding and watching that real estate grow in value over the years as you take care of it, as you rent it out, and make money with it that way as well. So real estate is a great vehicle for making and growing your money. All right, so that's today's lesson or lecture. And wake up, we still got a lot more to learn. All right, so I'll talk to you guys in the next lecture.